tutorial on creating color separations from a photograph in Illustrator. So when you have Illustrator open, click on Create New, select letter. I usually change to inches first, and I also want to artboards. Create. Under window, I usually select painting as the preset, and also right click to show rulers. I'm going to bring in this picture of a car from Google by copy image, Control V, place. So also make sure that the image that you're using is high quality. So when you bring in an image, notice that the menu on top changes to image trace. If you click on the little menu arrow down, it shows the presets for image trace. So we will pick three colors. So remember, white is a color. So if you're thinking of using white as the color of the paper and then two colors in your silkscreen, you want to select three colors. Once the image is traced, you can see the three colors that Illustrator chose to separate them. I noticed that the shadow is now blending with the car. If you want to change that, you can also change the way Illustrator traces is by clicking on the panel for image trace additional options. Click on advanced. So if you want to make sure that you get all the areas that you want, you can change noise to 1. I kind of like how that changed now at the bottom to the shadow. And you can also manipulate how many paths or corners it has. I'm actually happy with the way it looks now. So I can close this and click on expand. So now I have the gray, the red, and the black. For my print, I want to use the black and the red. So what I'm going to do now is select the magic wand. If your magic wand is not visible, you can go into the view options and down here, edit toolbar, and select the tool. So I'm going to select everything that's gray. Click backspace, delete. I also want to delete some of the noise that's in the background. So I'm just going to take my eraser, using the spacebar, make it larger, and just erase some of those marks. Okay. Once I'm happy with the design, I'm going to scale it down to size and rotate it to fit it on 8.5 by 11. I'm gonna make it as large as I can fit. This is the part that I can add writing to the background. So if I want to say cool car, one thing I usually do with text is type, create outlines. In case I save it to a device that I print later that doesn't have the font. Or it might be, actually, now that I look about it, could be so I'm gonna group under Object Group. So I have the design that I want to print in 2 colors. Then I'm going to hold down the Alt key and duplicate the design. And if you also hold down Shift at the same time, it will keep it in place. So I slide it over to my second page. So now I want to create a screen for the red and then the screen for the black and the text. So to do that, I can double click, which isolates this grouping. Then I can grab the magic wand, click on the red, backspace, click on the gray, make sure that it's black, click on the selection, double tap to deselect, come to this again, double click, make sure that the other layer is grayed out to isolate the grouping. So for this one, I want to delete the black and leave the red. So again, I'll go to the magic wand, click on the gray, click on the black, then select red, turn it black. So in silkscreen, you usually want to print light to dark. So the red will be printed first, and then the black will be printed second. So one thing, if when you're registering 2 colors, you want to do something that's known as trapping, making sure that there's a little bit of overlap between the colors in case there's some registration. So what I'm going to do now is select, there's several ways, this layer, and I'm going to click on the stroke, and then I'm going to make it black, and under stroke menu 1 point. I think it's enough the way I'm printing it. So once I'm done, so I have a screen for the red and the black. Because I will be using a mylar or a transparent piece of plastic to register one color on top of another, I'm not using registration marks, and I'm just going to register one layer to one when I print. So then you just want to save your file as a PDF. So we'll call it car underscore sep. And select PDF from the drop down. I usually print from the Adobe Acrobat rather than the Illustrator because it takes a little bit less time.